feelings are not facts.
Oh, okay. That was going to be one of mine, so it's fair.
Feelings are how you feel about an issue does not defy the facts of the issue. It happens, and even coming down to relationships, right? Men and women feel different things depending on different times of the month and hormones and whatever. How you're feeling in that moment may not be what it is. So usually it's best to identify the facts because they are never the same.
But I would add that it doesn't mean you ignore the feeling.
No.
Yeah.
So you don't ignore them, but then it's not always, let me say, it's not always
it's not
facts.
always fact.
Welcome to the Sincerely Accra podcast. My name is Joseph NT, and this podcast is brought to you can't see of the Gold Coast Report. That's the GCR network. Number one podcast hosting network in the whole Ghana. And of course, I have to shout out my co-creator and producer, Mr. Kwame Asante Ofori. Okay. Now, in this episode, we're going to be doing something very interesting. We're going to be talking about life lessons, okay? I've got some guests in the studio, and what we're going to be doing is very interesting. Everybody's going to tell me 3 things that they believe that is a life lesson worth, having, keeping, sharing. And we're all going to debate whether or not it makes sense or not, because, some people really think that they have how you see all those quotes. I swear to God, sometimes I see quotes on the internet and I'm like, this doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. They'll do it in a nice font and then they'll write the name of the person who said it and then everybody's like retweeting it and I'm like, this is some bullshit. I'm not buying it. So yeah, that's the game we're playing, if you want to call it a game. But anyway, yeah. So on my immediate right, I have Henrika. For those of you who have been sticking around with me from 2017, you know Henrika is from Off the Top. Do not ask me when it's coming back, please. Let's set this ship sail, okay?
It's a new era.
It was a great time. God. Also, that show was so chaotic to do. I feel like you guys enjoyed it more than
behind
us.
the scenes.
Yeah, because all you guys did it's just too hectic. But anyway, and also on Henrika's right is Kofi. Not to be confused with our studio manager, Kofi. Yeah, he's also called Kofi, by the way. Okay. Yeah, I work with Kofi. You don't need to know where. Yeah.
Wherever I work.
I mean, I feel like everybody knows I have a 9 to 5 by now, but
why don't you want to say where?
It is not necessary.
They're not sponsoring you either.
Well, it's not even about that, but it's just
separation of church and state.
Exactly.
Got you.
See, all the vocabulary is right there. Yeah. So before we get into it, how has your day been?
It's actually been really good. This has been a good Saturday. Usually my Saturdays are busy. I'm working, I'm moving around. But this one has been pretty chill. I've enjoyed it.
So you didn't do anything in the morning?
No, I did. But it was more things I like.
Like
I
what?
didn't need to get up and respond to emails immediately. Yeah. I stretched, I walked, I made crepes. I really took it easy. Yes, indeed.
You know I stretch now?
Do you?
Yes.
Was this after the marathon? Or before?
No, before.
Okay.
Because, my friend Jean did this video, Papa's Life Lessons. And inside of it, they tell you to stretch. And so I've started stretching, before I sleep, I stretch and I do 30 push-ups.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
just a quick pump.
No, because I gave up on the gym. It's too much.
It's expensive too.
I mean, there's that, but I just feel like the gym is just too much work. The recovery pain all the time is unbearable. I hate the recovery pain.
No, but you only feel the pain if you're stopping.
That is not true.
It's facts.
It is a lie.
Everyone knows this.
I was going to the gym for 3 months.
You can give him some tips.
Definitely.
I was going to the gym for 3 months.
And then you stopped.
Every time, and in the 3 months, the first week you have the pain and everything, but every time when you do leg day, you're going to walk away with 2 days worth of pain.
Okay, so that's normal muscle soreness. It happens.
Yes, and then for example, when you do arms, and when I sit in my car and I'm trying to pull my seatbelt. It is the most difficult thing in the world. It's so painful. And I'm like, they say it's supposed to stop and it never stops.
So there's a pain that's supposed to stop, but with that, it doesn't stop.
Okay, so then that means that you see, the marketing is bad.
Maybe
so
the
pain is, of course, the discomfort, when it becomes easier to do, but the recovery pain for your muscles tearing and rebuilding, I hate discomfort. So yeah, I just stick to my push-ups and my stretching and I'm good to go.
Do you do anything for legs or just...
For legs?
Yeah.
Well, I ran a marathon.
That one time.
I went on a marathon. And then I went for the protest. I consider that cardio.
Yeah, yo, that was a lot.
Yes, a lot of thigh and calf, workout. Anyway, Kofi, how's your morning been?
So it's been all right. I was supposed to play tennis this morning, but I had to cancel because I had to fix my plans to be here. So
in the morning,
yeah.
You had to fix.
So we do early morning sometimes. We do late evening sometimes. It depends.
But you played last night.
So
how often you play tennis?
On the average, 3 times a week, sometimes 5.
Wow.
Depends.
Okay.
What's going on?
What's going on?
Yeah.
I mean, we're just keeping fit.
Oh, okay.
And it's fun and it's quite addictive. So then you just get stuck in it.
Gym in addition to playing tennis?
No. I don't do gym. So when you gym with tennis, you become very rigid. You can't turn, hit, those things. Your arms.
I don't think so.
So you see when you can't touch your ear, because of your muscles, you can't swing. Same thing.
But then if you're swinging and stuff,
you don't need strength to swing. It's a skill.
You don't. I'm guessing you were going to the gym to build muscle.
No, just to keep fit.
Oh, okay. So now that you can keep fit with tennis, you don't have to go to the gym.
There's way more
I don't know about
cardio in tennis.
If you watch all of these Netflix shows with all the tennis stars and things, they're definitely training.
For the last
48 times a year,
5 weeks or so, I was doing a spaces on Twitter for Big Brother Africa on Sunday nights.
Okay.
So it interferes with that. So I haven't been able to
go a different night.
Yeah, but then on Saturdays too, because I record the podcast.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I have stuff to do, events to attend, people are getting married.
So there are actually 7 days in a week, Joseph.
Whoa. This one is coming for you and this.
Who wants to go? I don't know about you, but if you wake up at 6 a.m. to go and do a 9 to 5, and then you have to go and play tennis after that, I don't know how you do it. That's why I was asking what's going on with you, because they say some of these things have been life crisis.
9 to 5s, and we're around the same age, and we do it in the evenings, like from 6 to maybe 9 p.m.
Oof. Till 9 p.m.
Yeah.
Wait, so when you close at 5, when do you eat?
When do I eat?
Don't you eat supper?
Yeah.
What
after 9. It's usually very light.
That's maybe not the best.
That is not
for
the
your
best.
Circadian rhythm.
Well,
what is this?
Zoom into his stomach.
He's like, I'm good.
No, but it's not even about the physical, but inside as well. So
so it's not every night I eat. Usually it's just fruits or something. It's not a heavy meal. It's not a full meal at all.
So the last time you eat a proper meal is lunch?
Yeah, I eat lunch around 3.
Okay. All right, that's a choice, y'all. Anyway, well, I spend my morning cleaning the beach.
Oh, look at you, good citizen. That's great.
Oh no, I'm annoyed because
Why? What happened?
I feel like every time that I've seen beach cleanup videos, it's relatively dirty. It's like you walk away seeing that you have done something, but what behind the Asha Fort?
Okay.
Oh my goodness. Clothes and plastic is just terrible. I feel like I was raking and I wasn't seeing any impact.
It's just clothes still.
It's just it's really bad. But anyway, that's what I did this morning. And I went home and then I made jollof and I came here.
Okay.
Is your water situation sorted
I don't have
out?
water.
Still, but you still cooked.
Yes. The water, they took the water yesterday.
Okay.
So I had to cook with bags of water.
Oh.
But anyway, that's enough intro for y'all. Okay, so who wants to go first?
I think courtesy says you should as the host.
Why?
To make us comfortable.
No.
Yes. Yep.
Rock, paper, scissors.
I think I agree you should go
Best
first.
out of 3.
Okay,
so we start from there and then we come this way.
Let's do
rock, all
paper,
of us.
scissors.
The weakest one starts. Ready?
Okay, wait. Also, do you do rock, paper, scissors, shoot? Or are you guys rock, paper, scissors? Okay.
Shoot. That is always good. So you do it on shoot. So ready, go. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Okay, you lost. So did you say best out of 3 or just the first one?
This is a conspiracy. You people. Okay, this is a conspiracy. But
you chose rock, paper, scissors.
Okay, so my first my first lesson in life, I feel like unless it's illegal, all personalities are allowed. Let people be themselves.
What do you mean unless it's illegal? Are there some that are illegal?
Yeah, like the way you're carrying yourself, the way you're presenting yourself. If you're doing something if it's not illegal, because see, here's the thing: there are people that you meet, you're like, oh, this girl likes talking too much, or this person's too loud.
Yeah.
Yes, I feel that way about people, but I feel like it's not necessary for you to maybe control it.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe you're working with somebody and then you want to go and tell the person that I think you need to tone down a bit. This is a corporate. Do whatever you want to do. Be yourself.
Mm-hmm.
When the consequences come,
what are you
deal with it. I just feel like we all have aspects of our personality and our behavior that somebody probably doesn't like.
Yeah.
And if people are putting up with it, you should put up with someone else's. That's just my thing. So for me, I don't really interfere. Like, if I sit in conversations where we are saying, "Oh, this person is this way and that way," yes, we can have that conversation. But I don't feel like I want to go the step further and then go and tell the person that, you know what, this your green eyelash that I've been doing is not nice. You should change it.
Okay.
I think you should let people be themselves.
I believe in that.
So that's my life lesson. What y'all think?
I think that's great, actually. My best friend, one of my homies, likes to say, not my monkey, not my circus, right?
Oh,
so
makes sense.
That can apply to many, many different things, but let people be. If they want to be a monkey over there, what does it have to do with you? It doesn't have anything to do with, if it's not affecting you, like you said, it's not illegal. Maybe then we get into the space of like social contract. We've all agreed to conduct ourselves a certain way within shared space, and you're maybe impacting me in a way that's messing with my space. But other than
like
that,
in a work environment, is that because what kind of shared space?
Your home. You live in a home with people. You share an office with people. If you don't work remotely, vehicles. Like body odor, enclosed spaces.
Like someone cannot bring a goat in the church.
No, you need to get from A to B, but they shouldn't be acting like a goat. The goat should do what they want to do, but not the person. So I guess I'm saying I agree with your point.
Okay, yeah.
In a roundabout
you can act like a goat, I guess.
Do your thing.
Just
not my monkey. Not
I feel like you have a critique.
No. So I also agree, but usually you see us in the corporate spaces with the aunties in the offices. So then they come and they tell you that don't wear this, look like this, shave your beard, do this, do that. It happens a lot, but I agree. People should be allowed to do whatever they want to do.
I have a theory about that. I think people in the workspace that are like overly critical of like this person wearing this person that, I think they don't have a life outside of work.
Facts.
That's what I think, because they kind of make work their life. And if you have a lot going on for you, like social life and things like that, there are certain conversation points that become your norm. So maybe you guys are thinking about like a trip you guys want to take, tennis, like you're discussing it. When you meet and you are talking, those are the kind of things that come up for you. But not, Sir guy, no, 1 floor, no, he doesn't have, what's it called? He hasn't cut his beard. Or this girl, every time when she's coming to work, she has one makeup. She must be a bad girl. Like, what is that? How?
No, but it's very easy to get into that space, because if you're working 13 plus hours a day and you have 30 days in a year as leave.
13 hours a day.
13 plus hours, yeah.
Really?
Well, depending on what you do.
5?
So some of us do like 13 hours on some days.
You work 13 hours?
Depending on what we have to do.
You are liable to compensation.
Hope they're paying.
Yeah, but it happens. And usually if they're in like maybe banks or something and they're in like their retail space, they work a lot of hours. Now that becomes your life. Everybody there becomes your, I wouldn't say family, but you see them way more than you see your own family. So then it's easy to move into that and more difficult to have a life outside work. It's actually, it takes intentional effort.
It's like to move into like them critiquing.
That's what I'm saying. If that's your family, then why is that the people you're pulling down? And
so it comes down to so many things: age differences, pay grade, all those things come into play.
And culture too. Like
and culture.
Just thinking of maybe it takes a village. The people who are older than you think, it's my responsibility to correct you. It's misplaced, I think. Absolutely.
There's also the things that they are correcting, because what's wrong with makeup?
Is it something that needs to be corrected, or is it just a personal preference to you?
So at times it's envy. That also plays a part, because the 25-year-old has makeup that you can't do, that you don't know how to do, or you can't afford. It happens.
Okay, well maybe now we're picking on aunties. Sometimes the younger people also pull apart older folks and all of these things.
To their face?
No, that's the culture. You can never. The deference thing exists.
There's some people that, you come to the space and then you want to play your gospel music loud. You want to come and hit your stew that has some Kobe inside it. And nobody's like talking to you and telling you that, hey, you guys why can't you just deal with somebody that is choosing to wear makeup?
Well, maybe what's better, is it outward contempt or critique, or the inner, like you're casually looking at somebody sideways but you're not going to say anything?
Yes, that's me.
Happily, so that's the better option.
So that's why I say, unless
Live
it's
and let
illegal, let
live.
people be themselves. The thing is,
True.
like, if you look at my face long enough, you will know that I feel a way about you. But I just
To
don't
read
believe
you.
in like having to vocalize it and let you know. And if you interact with me, I would do my best to be pleasant.
Yeah.
But I just feel like, let people be. And then in the same way, you also have to manage them in a way that, like, you don't have to invite your co-workers to your personal things. Some people are under the impression that, I work with them. If I don't invite them and they see, they'll complain. You don't like them, don't invite them.
You don't have to.
Honestly, because now the thing
okay.
that you tolerate in the office, now you have to tolerate it on your time,
Yeah.
your
invited
day
it
off.
in.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, that's my life
That's
lesson.
your
And
first
everybody agrees.
I guess we do agree.
That's a win. We're going to be putting that down as one of the life lessons.
Are
for
we
today.
keeping scores?
I didn't know we're keeping score.
We're keeping
I
scores.
was like, okay.
I
didn't know
won.
that.
I'm 1 for 1. All right, who's next?
Wait, hang on. If we say we don't agree, then you lose.
If someone doesn't agree, then it goes against you.
Okay.
But since I have the two of you agree, I bet
Okay.
you guys.
The
Okay,
rules should
then.
have been explained. No, but
Yeah.
still.
Oh no, but you
the
see,
lesson
yeah,
applies.
Oh, now you're trying to be
Okay.
vindictive.
The lesson applies.
Okay, so now
So
who's gonna go?
applies.
Or you guys want to do another rock paper
Rock, paper,
scissors?
scissors. Let's keep it fair. Sure.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Let's
See how it
go.
goes. Rock, paper, scissors. Shoot.
Oh, shoot.
Love it.
You know what?
Take it again.
Okay, yeah, let's go again. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Okay, so I'm going.
Yes,
Yeah.
you're going. What's your first one?
So my first one would be people's opinion of you and how they see you is more of you than how you think of yourself.
No.
It's a riddle.
Okay.
Say it slower.
So people's opinion of you is more of you than what you think of yourself.
So what he's saying is that
It's
the
like more
opinion that people-
real.
is more real
Yeah.
than what you think of. I don't agree. I don't agree.
Why do you say that?
So please tell me why you don't
No,
agree
you
first.
tell us first. No, tell
Okay.
us why. Tell
Okay,
us why.
so
Yeah.
I've known him for about, let's say, 5 years.
Okay.
And what I've experienced from him is how I see him.
Uh-huh.
That'll be the same for you and everybody in this room.
Okay.
So what we think of him becomes the idea of him, or becomes him to us.
To you.
No, but you
To
didn't.
all of
these
us.
are that now
You didn't
additive.
add that.
I
You
literally said the
it's
same
more
thing.
No,
He
you
said
know.
No, I
it's
said
more of
it's
you.
more of you than what you
Okay.
think of yourself.
In
No,
their mind, not
to
in
you.
reality.
Good,
Yeah.
fine. In their mind, I'm bringing it home. So what you think of yourself to all of us is irrelevant. It's what we think of you, and that is Joseph. So if anybody asks me who Joseph is, I'll say what I think of Joseph. So I'll say
Doesn't
he's
mean it's
ABC.
true. Okay.
It doesn't have to be true,
Okay.
but then it's perception that is more of you than what you think of
Wait,
yourself.
state the life lesson again, because I feel like you have edited it from the
you've added
original
a few.
thing.
So
Are you saying
Okay.
that it is more of you
than
to
what?
the person,
Mhm.
or it's more of you than
Period.
who you actually are?
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say is who you think you are is irrelevant. It's what people think you are that's relevant.
That's relevant.
Yes.
I mean, relevant to
Yeah,
what?
relevant to
How,
what?
to which situation?
In every space, every circumstance. So again, if anybody asks you who he is what you've experienced, is how you know him. That's how you present him to them.
And what he has said of himself, I think, is also what people would come back to more.
So
Then
let's
what I
say I didn't know him.
Okay.
We all didn't know Joseph.
Yeah.
And then I ask you who he is. You tell me what you think of him. And they all say the same.
Mhm.
But what he thinks of himself may be different from what you all think of him. But it is irrelevant.
But I think it's foolhardy for you to take someone's opinion of another
So
person without
as to what's
experiencing
true
them.
or what's not true is one thing. But as to what is more you that we think is another thing.
This is.
Do you get where I'm coming from?
I
I don't know
downright
if
do
I
not
agree with this.
I do not.
No, but do you understand what I'm saying?
I understand
Yes,
what you're
yes.
saying, but
You're
I feel
speaking
like
about
it's a little bit
perception.
flawed because,
Okay.
you know, if I walk into a room and I say, "Oh, how is this person like?"
Okay.
Okay, maybe this is also my personal philosophy, which didn't make it on here.
Okay.
I feel like people do not you do not really know
Yeah,
the entirety of people.
I agree with that.
We have multiple personalities that we present.
I think you're
Wait.
making my point, but go on.
What? How am I making your
No,
point?
go on.
I hate this.
Wait, actually, go ahead
Yeah,
before
go
you
on.
actually prove him right.
Because you're making my point, but go on.
No,
Let's hear
I feel
it.
like people do not present their real selves
Okay.
all the time. Certain groups of people know you
For certain things. Yeah.
in different ways.
Yeah.
If you go into a certain space and they say, "Oh, you know that Enrique can dance," they'll be like, "Hey, really?"
Yeah.
When she comes, she's always so quiet, right?
They'll be shocked.
So if you say, "How's this person like?" and then the person tells you, for you to take that as the sum total of the person,
Yeah.
it's foolhardy.
It's
so I don't.
myopic.
But there are
Yeah.
instances where I would not get to meet you to ask you those things or to confirm those things. So it's what your friends say you are That's what makes you who you are.
Let me ask this
friends
question
or people.
though.
Friends,
Why
people,
is it a
anybody.
life lesson? Can you give us like an example where this has become a truth
So
to you?
it works in politics, it works in workplaces, it works everywhere else. It's what people perceive of you.
Do you have a personal experience like this?
I have many, but then let's not make it personal. Let's just make
But
it
it's a
general.
life
No, we
lesson.
won't understand why. Because I don't agree.
Okay.
Do you agree?
No.
Yeah.
I'm trying to pull out the merit of it, but I
Okay.
really think what you
Maybe if you give us
Let
one
me
example.
okay, so
better.
okay, let me give you
It's more of a
a
fact.
general example.
Okay.
Cool.
Forbes list, you see maybe Elon Musk or something,
Mhm.
and you don't know him personally.
Uh-huh.
We all don't. Anybody can ask you what you think of him. Our opinions of him is how we will see him till we die. So to us, that's who he is. It doesn't matter what is
What he
true
thinks
and
of
what's not
himself.
true and what he thinks of himself.
But this is
It's
the
what
thing.
we all know.
Based
So
on Twitter,
coming back to what you said about people having different opinions of you, even if they're friends, family, whatever, we know of you in different bits and pieces.
Okay.
Putting that together becomes our impression of you, or what we
Yeah.
think you are, or who we think you are. But
you
what
said it
you think
matters
you are-
more.
No, I didn't say it matters. I said it's more of you. Because that is what the world gets to know. No one can tell who you are inside or in your head. So then it
Things-
becomes more of you than
I'm a
what
little
you
bit
think you
swayed.
are.
I know,
I'm
he's
sorry.
kind of convincing me.
I'm a little bit swayed.
I think it's the way you phrased it, because ordinarily,
Maybe.
I do agree
Maybe.
that multiple people can have many perceptions of you, and that's what reputation is, right? Like
Yes.
what people know
Because
about
Exactly.
nobody really does know what you
Exactly.
think about yourself, what you
Exactly.
believe about yourself.
but that's what is
They're
brought
gonna
into a
take-
room on your behalf.
So that
in
becomes
that
more of you.
sense, yeesh.
Okay, so let me give you another example.
No, wait.
There are people on like
Slow down.
Snapchat,
You're convincing
Instagram,
us.
everywhere.
Eh,
And we think we know them because of what we see.
what
Maybe
they
that's
present.
our mistake.
Whether it's a mistake or not, whether it's true or not, that is the perception we have and that is how we know them. Forget what is true and what's not true.
Damn.
Yeah,
So
the
then
reason-
what we think is more of them than what they think
the
of
reason
themselves.
why I'm leaning towards this is because like
So you're okay.
I-
We're making headway.
yeah, no,
That's into
honestly,
it.
it came down to how you phrased it the first time.
Yeah.
But the reason why I now agree with you is because I feel a lot of people meet me and they expect me to be like, hey, and that's not really who I am.
Mm.
Like, honestly, I keep saying I'm
That's
an
not
introvert.
really who you think you are, but that's how
Okay,
we know
wait,
you
wait.
are. Did you get where I'm coming from?
I get where you're coming from. but,
Exactly.
like, I just feel
That's not who you think you are, but that's how
Okay.
we think you are.
I feel like when I don't have the cameras, when I'm not
Yeah.
doing the show and I'm talking to people, I am not like my voice is not at a certain level.
Mm.
I'm not as animated, right? But when I go on social media to even post or whatever, I feel the need to
Perform yourself in the way that
and
people
so
know
there's a
you.
lot of people that based on my social media and the show,
Yeah.
they think this is who I am.
Yeah.
So that's because you're feeding the perception, you're controlling the narrative. That is who people know you to be.
For somebody that was trying to
Jeez.
Did you get what I'm coming?
so someone that was trying to
Okay.
it's fine. All right, we agree.
We believe you. You have 1 point. Okay,
Yeah,
fine,
1
fine,
point.
fine. We'll
Henrika,
give it
let's
to you.
move on.
Jeez.
Oh, so now it's 1-1.
Yes.
Okay.
The way we
Good
were
one.
quick in the beginning, and now he just
It
okay.
was the freezing.
Listen, good job. You must be good at your job. Okay.
Now, Henrika, there's a lot of pressure.
Listen. Okay. Full disclosure, I have many truths and lessons, but let me
Okay, no
what I
problem.
shortlisted. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. Okay. Self-restraint is power, whether it's any situation you put yourself in, if it's work, friendships, relationships, conversations. Just because you can does not mean that you should.
Yeah, I easily agree with that, actually.
That one is very simple. Some people think it's a limitation of your freedoms, though. Like, I can do it, so I'm gonna do it.
Mhm.
That can be in, I have the money, so I'll spend it. I can afford it right now. Okay. Can you tomorrow? Have you thought about any other costs that you have in your life? And it goes for everything. This friend, you could talk to them about another person if you're running your mouth, whatever. But should you though? Just that second thought,
Okay,
I
now
think
I have
is really
I have a few.
lay it on me.
So what would you say for people that have terminal diseases?
Where does the question come though?
Because if you can, you should do it now. You're going to be dead tomorrow.
I don't think that
Okay.
negates what I said
Okay.
though. Just because you can doesn't always mean you should. Okay, let's say you have cancer, we've all seen these movies, these people who are ill. And I'm not going to minimize, terminal illness or chronic diseases. It's serious. Sometimes you really just want to enjoy life because you never know where you could go. But should you?
You see, now that's it right there. Is even take away the chronic, the terminal illness. You could die tomorrow.
You can, sure.
So if you can, you should.
But if you live that way, I want to hear your thoughts.
No
if you live
problem.
that way with everything, you just might die tomorrow. If you do it with sugar, you can eat a donut, so you should. You can eat a pizza, so you should. You don't need to sleep early, so you don't. Just because you have certain freedoms doesn't mean that you need to use them all the time.
But if you also think about it, about like, you can eat that sugar, so you should. But you can also work out, so you should. You can also sleep early, so you should.
So it's kind of
Because
agreeing with my point.
No, it's carpe diem. Seize the day, seize the moment. You have to take advantage of the now, because the way the world is moving. And when we're growing up, it was very, very like, oh, you're going to be 80, then you die. Now it's very...
Could be 45.
Yeah,
It could be 2,
Could be 20,
it could be 3.
yeah,
It could be
yeah,
5. So just because you can...
So maybe the inverse of what I said is
no,
I don't agree with it. No, I was trying to sway myself,
Okay.
but I truly believe it. Just because you can does not mean
Kofi,
you
what
should.
do you think?
Kofi, what do you think?
So initially, I was agreeing with her, but then
I
when you
don't.
brought that up, I mean, I agree with Charlie. If there's no time, no day. If you can't do it,
Really?
simply.
Okay, I understand. It sounds, but think about everything you could possibly do. If you can, you should.
As in, if I can afford to do them,
Not even afford. It's not
can-
always a monetary thing.
I
You
mean,
could
can-
steal from someone. Should you? Just because you can? Nobody will know.
Now you're going into illegal.
Yeah, now
Okay.
We're not talking
Indulgences then. If you keep it fairly
Yes.
happy,
Like, for example,
you shouldn't always do the
if you have
thing.
if there's somebody that you've always been feeling for a long time, and honestly all you've wanted to do is just have sex with a person, and the opportunity comes, you're like, I can do it, but I shouldn't always do what I can do. It's not gonna happen the next time.
definitely
Are you
not.
thinking about yourself though? Why? Okay, wait. Okay.
What are you talking about? Think about yourself.
No, in this scenario that you just gave, like, oh, I really like this person. I should just go ahead and do it.
And if the
But
person is
maybe
feeling
there's
you,
okay. See,
they-
but now
they're
you're adding
presenting
caveats
the
that are not
opportunity.
part of
No,
the
no,
main
no, no,
truth.
just because you can now, being able to do it
Yes.
also it means there's consent. The person wants it, you also want it, and then now you're gonna play this high moral grounding of just because I can doesn't mean
I
I
don't
should.
have to.
I'll do it next week. Then next week
Restraint.
comes along, he's like, oh,
You're
I've
not
said to
getting
take
it.
my religion serious. I can't have sex anymore.
Okay, that story is very specific.
No, it's not. But I'm just saying,
Okay, no, I hear you.
certain things
I hear you.
come together for things to be possible in a moment. And if you don't take advantage of it, it will change.
Facts.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
Just because you can doesn't mean you should. Doesn't mean you should never. All I'm saying is I'm advocating for self-restraint and discipline and thinking twice. That's it. If you decide in the end it's a great idea, please, by all means, eat the donut, run the marathon, sleep with a guy. As long as you've thought.
Because honestly, seize the day. Okay, Kofi.
Some people don't always give it second
No,
thought.
so just because you can doesn't mean you should, but you should never.
No, but it doesn't mean you should
never.
never. That's not part of the
Okay.
fraction.
Okay. I think we should give it half. We should give it half of
0.5.
one.
Really, guys?
Because we agree, but we don't agree.
I know
Not
the
really.
import
Yeah.
of the message.
Fine.
It's like, what's the word? Everything
Temperance.
in
moderation. Yes.
I get it. But I feel like seize the day. When I think about that, it's just
Carpe
hard for me.
diem.
Yeah.
Is that how you live your life?
No.
Okay. If you want to seize the
I am
day,
not
you do that.
spontaneous.
But as for me,
Oh God, I
I'm at home.
am an overthinker, so everything is like overly calculated.
No, that's not
And I
fun.
think that's why this is part of my truth.
It's not
to
fun?
Be, to
No,
be
that's not
honest.
fun.
No,
Exactly.
no. So what I do is I surround myself with people who are not like me,
Okay.
Who can be the
Okay.
strength
so
for
that
you.
they can influence me to do certain things every now and then. But
Yeah. Okay. That's fair. I still stand by my
So
truth.
what are you giving her 1 point?
I give myself 1 point. The audience will probably give me 1 point. I hope.
Is it yes? Or
Let
no?
us know in the comments,
How?
guys.
Okay, 0.5.
Okay.
0.5. So
That's fine. I
one-
have 2 more to go. Let's see. Let's see.
So
Oh my
yeah,
God.
I think we should go in the same pattern again. So
Thank
you
you,
start.
Joseph.
All right,
Yes.
sure. Okay. My next point. I do not believe in unsolicited advice. The reason
Okay.
why I say this is because I feel like a lot of people tend to give advice thinking that the person that you're trying to advise is not
Mhm.
aware of the consequences of their behavior.
Mm.
That is so wrong. Like you see somebody's like drinking a lot and you're like, hey, don't drink. Oh, it's not good for you. You think they don't know
harm
that if they
yourself.
drink a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that person's going to wake up with a hangover.
Mm.
They know what it's like to get through the hangover, but they are choosing to drink anyway, especially
Yeah.
like after a certain age. Maybe I should add that. After a certain age, stop giving people unsolicited advice
Mm.
because people know what they're getting into. Don't see somebody who is like 35 and be like, hey, let me tell you, you have to get married though.
Mhm.
Because, this is the time when you need to settle down. Auntie, Mike, I
didn't
just
ask
answer is if you're not asked, don't go around giving people advice. That's my
a
life
little
lesson.
bit hard
And I think
to
it's a very
argue
simple way
with.
to live because look, especially with a new generation of young people now,
New Gen Z.
you give people advice before you realize they are dragging you.
Mm.
Like you go and try and advise somebody small, no. Be like,
Yeah.
look at Timo. He comes to advise me. Look at the shoe he's wearing. Look at and then
Drag.
now you're like, you don't respect. And this is the funniest thing that I find old people in Ghana do. My last born is even older than you. And so
What does that mean? You're
I
that
don't care.
good for you.
My last born. What girl? You didn't even give
been
birth to that
alive.
last born. Like, give us a break.
Give it a second.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think? I don't know if there's much to argue with there. Unfortunately, I'm searching hard for things to argue
So
with.
I think it depends on the advice. It depends on their circumstance. Drinking, for example, what if it's his first time? Though? He doesn't know the consequence of what he's doing.
But I feel like that
Really?
confirms what he's
Sometimes.
saying.
He
though,
does it.
in a little bit.
Listen,
So-
everybody who drinks alcohol or who knows about alcohol,
First time,
first time.
yeah.
Oh, Kofi, are you trying to tell me that if somebody's drinking alcohol for the first time, they don't know that alcohol
What could
has...
happen?
So maybe he's mixing drinks, taking Henny here, taking something
Okay.
else there,
That's
and
advice.
you don't know the effect till you've done it. That happens too.
No, but you see, that's where I would say let them do it and life will teach them.
Mm.
Because the best lesson is experience.
Not always, no. I mean,
It's nice to learn from other people's
exactly. You
experience
can
with
learn from
some
other
things,
people.
but the kid, or not even to assume it's a kid, the person who's drinking for the first time
Yeah.
is doing it for a reason, right? So maybe they want to, I guess you don't know anybody's background or reasoning enough to go and be like, hey, not knowing you at all, I don't think you should do this thing, right?
Let me give you guys a little bit of like explanation, right?
Okay.
This life lesson that I am saying
Mhm.
is also because, like, if you just want to live your life and live your life peacefully without any kind of thing, because you can go to a party, you see somebody mixing drinks, and you're
Mhm.
like, "This is your first time." You're like, "Yeah." You're like, "You shouldn't mix drinks, right?" And you're like, "Have I asked you a question?" And
Okay, but then I also
then now you
feel
look stupid.
that takes away the kind of community care. Maybe people don't care about that, but that's
No,
something
we
I care
stop-
about.
We stop being community care.
Why?
In
Because then it's like,
2000.
has anybody seen Kojo? Oh, no. And
He's lying on some
he's
floor somewhere.
in a mess somewhere because everybody was thinking like this, like, not my monkey, not my circus. Let me leave them alone.
We will care about you if you have this a situation.
But why should there be a situation first? And I get there's probably a need for balance in a sense, like, hey, girl, you good? I don't know if that's the best. He's kind of trash, but okay. You've spoken a little bit. You've spoken up.
Look, unless I am asked, I'm not even, like, if I walk to the
Bystander
table and it's
bias.
like, hey, this is my first time, do you think I can mix this with this? I'll be like, you probably shouldn't.
So
But
unless
I'm not
you're
gonna
asked,
walk-
you're not gonna.
Yeah, I'm not
offer.
gonna walk up there and then like start giving advice willingly. Like we're going out and then maybe like my sister is wearing a skirt. I'm like, hey, it's cold. Where we are going, there'll be lots of boys, so don't wear that.
Okay, let's think outside of the going out scene, right? Let's say something has made you sick before and you see somebody wants to order it. Is it unsolicited advice to be like, I would watch for that pasta? Or even in that case, it's like, if you want the pasta, then you get the
I
pasta.
have a weak stomach. I feel like, and I know people who have strong stomachs. They
But-
can eat all the. So whatever has made me sick, I know
Yeah.
it's because of my weak stomach. When I was like 7, my mother used to mix ORS with my cereal because that's how bad. Like right now, I can't even do dairy. So
Oh.
I'm not going to stop somebody from eating something because I know that's me. My stomach is weak.
Not stop, but caution. You're
Caution.
simply sharing your experience. It might help them, it
Sharing
might
experience.
not. Right?
Yeah.
So
I mean, I agree with that.
My small caveat to that is they must be my friend.
To what you said first.
Yes. To
Okay,
give
well-
you answers. If you're not my
Okay.
friend, it's not my business. Like if we're just an acquaintance, and I use friend very seriously. Not someone that you
please.
say hello, hi to.
No, that's not your friend.
because I actually believe that like experience is the best lesson.
I
I
mean,
mean, if you put it that way, then I agree.
So we see.
If you
no,
put it- if you put it
okay, in
that
this
way.
case, I'm giving you a 0.5. I think.
Oh no! Listen,
Just pure, listen, not even because I was given a 0.5, but
this is vindictive.
because I think it can be helpful. But I'm 0.5 also because I'm standing on either side of.
Do you go
this
around
point.
giving people unsolicited advice?
No, but I'm very observant.
So this is
And-
performative at
No.
best.
It's not.
I'm sorry.
I just think that there's caveats. There's some gray in this
there's
situation.
literally caveats to everything you say.
Okay, great. So I gave you 0.5. The rest is for the caveats.
Anyway, okay, sure.
But great lesson.
Great.
Lovely.
So wait, who was next? Was Kofi right? Yeah.
Yeah. I have like so many life lessons. Let me see.
Choose one. that will make
Every
us laugh.
relationship is transactional.
Every relationship is transactional.
Yes.
Friendship, family, romantic.
Oh,
Huh.
Why do you say that?
I think it's very straightforward because friendship, family, you're looking for something in that person and then you want it. You're looking for something as well. And then they come to you for it. And then you exchange those things and you continue your relationship. It's basically transactional.
So what do
It's
your
not necessarily
parents want from
financial.
you?
I was going to ask.
Yeah,
But
what's
you know,
the
what, you know
transaction?
what it is? The remote.
Come and
I
fix
mean,
my
that's
phone.
true.
The remote.
Coffee, get me water.
Yeah.
That's the transaction.
Yeah, but you know, your parents want some kind of things from you. They want you to do A, B, and C, so it makes them happy.
Larger than that.
So it's not always about you necessarily. In the sense that, trust me, nobody's parents said, I want to have a child and then we'll raise this child to be A, B, and C. No, they wanted a child for their happiness. They got their child. Now the things that they want you to do, they tell you to do A, B, and C in the end is first of all for their name in the society amongst their friends. It's for their happiness. It's for their everything in the long run. If you look at its detail.
That's very debatable
Legacy.
because you
Okay.
are taking away a whole group of people who were oops babies. Not every single
Fair,
one of us
fair.
were planned. Like,
Fair,
let's be
fair.
honest. Some of you, look,
I mean,
honestly, the honest truth. Some of you were the result of a one night stand that your father or your mother didn't plan to see each other again. And it's the honest truth.
By mistake.
I know some of you are going to act like, oh my God, why is
But
the
it's true,
truth?
it's true.
It's the truth. We've seen some of the relation between some parents and how they treat each other and everything.
Mm.
Some of you were not planned. You're not,
But
you didn't come out of love. You come out of one too many BS.
so it makes my point.
in that case, maybe the transaction is
Yeah.
the parent or the person didn't want to be seen as a bad person by
Yeah.
not having the child. Is that transactional? I don't know about that.
So
No,
it's,
we're not
it's
talking about having it, but the relationship between.
Now, once you
there's
exist,
always
you
some
and your parent.
give and take whatsoever in a relationship, whether it's
Okay,
friendship,
well,
whether
I
it's
agree with
romantic.
that.
So no love is selfless.
Oh, no, it's not.
Only God's love.
Only
Even
Up
that's
and down.
conditional, but anyway.
It's also conditional.
Yeah.
It is. You cannot be of the world.
Oh my goodness. So, I mean, maybe that kind of sets a few people free because then if you're thinking about relationships transactionally, it doesn't mean you're a bad person. 'cause
No,
everyone
at all.
is.
So it makes it very easy for you to understand the request and what happens in Accra. Because that is how
In
relationships
Accra.
are.
Only
In the
so-
world.
In Accra.
All over the world.
Wow, I feel like that's pretty
Jeez.
straightforward. There's
Very
no
straightforward.
ifs, buts, and yeah.
Fine.
No, it is. It is.
It's actually a really... It's
So
a
I have two
bad
now.
person.
Yeah.
This is the...
He has to. This is because of you. I could have had two too.
It's the point
We're
5.
going to tear him
It's
apart for the
the
last
point.
one.
Listen, okay. I want a full point. I don't want a 0.5. Okay.
All the best.
Okay.
Okay, all the best.
Communication is a lifelong journey. You never fully learn how to communicate. Period. I think you will constantly be learning how you need to speak to the people in your life. You're never an expert. You're never a pro.
I agree with you. I agree with you mostly because,
Yeah.
you know, like there are certain people that, you know, when you first become, like you are first acquainted with a person,
Yeah.
there's anything that you don't want to talk about. Just you don't want, because you don't want it to look like you are complaining. So you be like, oh, it's not a big deal. But once it becomes apparent that this person is going to be in your life for a while, you want to start having those kind of conversations so that things will get better.
Yeah.
But even then, there are certain times when you still catch yourself because you feel like, let me not also go and complain about this. Let me not also go and talk about this one. Else to be like, all I do is try and... So I feel like it's true with communication. There's certain times that you feel cool to address something, to confront something. There's certain times where you're like,
I don't know about this. And then you also, the deeper your relationships get, the more you understand, even things like timing, like, I'm not going to bring this up until this other thing. Like simple nuances like that really
even
matter.
like the vocabulary.
Yes. Because if I say this, the person is triggered and they're not listening anymore. And that is something you learn over time, right? Am I getting a 1.5 for this one? I don't know.
You're getting a full point for me for this
Because
one.
we've
Because,
obviously-
oh my
I mean,
God, this like
It's
so
hitting.
relatable.
Yeah.
This I agree 100% because as people are growing, they're changing. So
Yeah.
then how to communicate with them also changes.
And
That's
you as well.
Another thing. Yes,
Yeah.
it's true. Because somebody that you met 5 years ago will be a completely different person.
Yeah,
Mhm.
And so you are always reinventing the way you communicate with a person.
Yeah.
exactly.
How they've changed is how you need to also change in approaching them. And for you, as you change, how are you communicating that to other people and what you need? Because your needs are changing.
What do you think is the most difficult thing about communication?
Fear.
Fear of what?
Fear of being misunderstood. I think at the core of it is fear of being misunderstood or misunderstanding people or... Yeah,
Actually,
I feel like
agree.
that's a
I think
big,
it's
that's
the
a big
fear,
root of it.
Fear of being misunderstood because
Yeah.
I don't know whether it's the vocabulary, it's the tone. And also, I think when you're talking to somebody,
Yeah.
they choose their own interpretation based on what they already think of
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
opinion on the
Yes,
situation.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. They're filtering through his first point.
Their
Their
lens.
perception of you
Yes.
is what they're hearing you
Yes.
as, right? And that can be a problem because you may misunderstand me entirely. So me bringing something to your attention, maybe this unsolicited advice, you're understanding it in the completely opposite way. Now you're upset, and you didn't. None of that was needed. And the tone, it's all of those things, right? That's why texting sometimes can be
Yeah, I was
you
gonna
need
say,
to
what's the best
infuse
way?
tone.
What's the best way you find?
For
Texting,
communication.
voice call, or face to face? When you have to have difficult conversations with people.
Face to
I
face for
prefer
me.
face to face.
Face
to
Or
face?
it can be
Yeah.
really scary. Okay, here's the thing. Start with a voice note. Okay. Express because you're kind of safer. You can bring it out. Your tone is included, etc. But if it needs to develop past that, face to face is really important.
No, I like the phone call. Yeah, face to face a lot.
Okay. Then I would say vocalize it. Okay, yeah, I guess voice note is kind of like a phone. The thing about phone calls is the uncertainty, the unpredictability.
What's unpredictable?
You
about
could
phone call?
you could say anything and now I'm stuck. I don't have time to think about it before I respond. You know what I mean?
No, you have time. Unless you don't have credits, you have time.
I can just pause and
Yeah, and you can
Still-
actually. What is it? Are you going to say that? I'm thinking. Give me a second.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe you're really good at phone calls. I feel like it's a skill I need to
I just
learn.
feel.
So like, I don't know if you've seen those videos where it says you're talking to someone about something serious, and then someone is selling like buffaloes on the side. Phone calls, you can easily be distracted. Easily. So
No.
you're having a serious conversation, and then your mom is calling you to come and heat the stew. You get where I'm coming from. But
No,
face to
so-
face, you're in a controlled environment. It's just you and the person.
Who said you are in a controlled environment?
You're
Most
in
of
a
the time, if it's a
restaurant,
serious
you're in a-
conversation, you're in a controlled environment.
I feel like so when you start a
Mm.
phone call, you'd be like, "Hey, can you go somewhere private where we can talk uninterrupted?"
Yeah.
Nope,
That's so
I can't.
terrifying. If somebody
No, I can't. Then
Why?
it ends there.
And it ends there. Okay, so then let me know when you can and call me back.
Okay, let me ask this. Are you confrontational? Are you good with confrontation? And not even like a combative way, but
It
yeah.
depends. There's certain things it's easy for me to talk about, and there's certain things that it's
Mm.
not. And once again, it's also about like, let's say who it is, the frequency
Yeah.
with
Okay.
which I've
yeah,
come
how close
to
are we?
confront them about it. Because I don't want to come across like, oh, I'm always complaining about certain things. But if you're doing something, then it's like it's really not it's gonna affect the way we vibe.
Yeah,
And it's like the fifth time, and it's a completely new thing that you do. And I have to
we
say, I
gotta
have to
talk
say,
about this. Yeah.
I feel like if I'm not going to confront something, then I really don't like hold you in high esteem like that. I don't take the relationship that serious.
That's
Same,
interesting. It speaks
same.
to where you are in your
Yeah, so
relationship.
it's just like, oh,
Same
that's
actually.
negotiate.
But as you were saying, I think there will always be a gap between your intentions and then what's understood.
That's
always.
another life lesson.
So
yeah.
it's your.
Oh, is that your life lesson?
I mean, we can add it
It was on
for
my
extra
list.
points.
Intention
But-
doesn't always reflect the outcome.
Yeah, so it's your job to bridge that gap.
That's
That is
fair.
how you communicate to people, to make sure that you put them in one space from what you intend and what they understand. Because there may be biases, there may be influences on the person's side, perceptions,
Yeah.
but you have to bridge the gap in what you intended to say or to do or whatever to how they understand it.
Yeah. And sometimes the interpretation is not your responsibility always, but that
Yeah.
can lead into other things. Anywho, so
So
do I
who's-
get 1.5?
I give you 1 point.
Okay,
Yes.
fine. 1 point. Who's next? You're next. You're
No.
third. No. Yes, we're going
No,
like this.
so yeah, back.
Wait,
back
have you
to
given 2 points? You haven't given 2 points.
I
did.
have.
What's the
I
second
have,
one?
and I got 2
Perception
points.
one and then
No, about the relationships being transactional.
Oh, yeah.
So I have two.
Okay. And which
She
one did
has-
you say?
communication and
Yeah.
then what was my first one?
Oh,
That you guys gave me 0.5 for? Let me double check that real quick.
just because you can.
Yes, doesn't
you
mean
should.
you should. Yeah.
Okay, so we've already gone this way.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yours was unsolicited advice and then
Okay, my
Something.
last one is that soulmates don't exist.
huh.
Soulmates don't exist. The idea of soulmates is once again a capitalist agenda,
It's
so that you
literally
can
Disney.
monetize
Mm.
feelings and romance and all of that.
Mm.
Soulmates don't exist. I
I
think
mean-
you can meet somebody, and at the point that you meet them, you guys fit.
Yeah.
But once again, people go. You find people get married for years, and 40 years later, they're like, I want a divorce. I no
Yeah.
longer love my wife. I want to go off and do that. In the 40 years, oh, that's my soulmate. We have 3 kids. We are this, we're that. Soulmates don't exist.
Or
If
do
you just-
they have expiry dates? Right? Because your soul is growing and changing. So maybe, we were matching for the 40 years, but now I've leveled up a little bit.
Now when you meet your soulmate, you're like, hey, what's your best before date?
The time is running. Listen.
Oh my goodness.
Wait, so then I want to ask, is there a difference between a twin flame and a soulmate?
What is a
Or is
twin
it the same
flame,
thing?
y'all? I feel like
Explain
I've
the-
seen that on the internet all the time.
Yeah, there was a show like that on Netflix, wasn't there?
I mean, I've heard about it, but then I can't explain it, so I want to know if it's the same or
No,
not.
but
How are we gonna?
But
if you've
with-
heard about twin flame, you've never like
so it's almost the same concept, just two people who meet and then flame, spark, basically.
oh okay.
But,
well then it's the same thing.
So
I think then, yeah, go on.
with your point, I don't agree.
You don't agree that soulmates
No.
he's lying.
Okay.
I don't
He
agree,
just
and this is
doesn't
why.
want to give me 2.5.
You can't get a third point. Explain.
So I think that there are people that could meet and they're best fit. But it's just because we see soulmates as it being automatic. The fact that you're soulmates doesn't mean you don't put work or effort in it. So that is
But that's
where
not what I'm
the
saying.
expiry date comes in. Because you've been together for 40 years. People grow, people change. I think you said that here already.
No, but
that
then you're
people are
agreeing with
growing
him.
and people are changing.
Wait, are you saying that what I said about the fact that at a point your
There's an expiry.
there's an expiry is because the people inside are not putting in the work.
I'm trying to explain why there's an expiry. So then they exist, but there's an expiry.
Oh, you
She
said they don't
She
exist.
said
Yes.
expiry.
I added the expiry.
Yeah.
Expiry.
Just to explain
They don't
the same
exist.
point.
They don't.
I mean, okay, here's the thing. I believe in kindred spirits. There are people, listen. There are people you can meet and there's a certain comfortability. It's you feel like
Yeah.
you've known them before and it's like
Yeah.
that you just click on certain things that doesn't feel normal. There's a very low level of effort. You're very compatible and that can be friends. It can be romantic. It can be
Have you met
partners
anybody
for
like that?
work as well. Yes.
Have you met a twin flame?
Something like that.
The language, I don't know about the twin flame.
Maybe it's because I've not met
Like
Sam,
that.
right?
No, listen, think about your friendships as well. There's people who you
Exactly.
we're-
So that's not what he is saying.
Friendships.
We're talking about everything in
You can have
general.
a soulmate who's your
Oh,
soulmate.
I was thinking about okay. Listen,
It's not only romantic.
then my reframing is
So
romantic.
I think if we
soulmates.
have to
That's
edit
fine.
or
I
reframe,
believe that.
it's a 0.5.
it's not a 0.5
Oh.
Because people are just
because I was
tweaking
talking
their
about
points.
romantic relationships. I was talking about friendships.
Okay.
But you didn't say that.
No, but how many people we usually don't get people say, "Oh, my friend is my soulmate." Like
I
that is
feel
not.
like
They do, but it's
yeah.
not the norm. I was
Okay,
talking
then
about
maybe-
romantic
yeah.
relationships.
in that case, I agree with your point.
I don't think so. Like,
Unless we add the
they're
caveat
gonna
that they
tell
can expire.
you, go out there, your soulmates exist. So then you start buying flowers and chocolate, and that is feeding the capitalist agenda. You start like going on trips and whatever, because that's my soulmate.
I mean, first of all, most of our existence today is part of the capitalist agenda.
Yeah.
But you don't say, I'm not going to go to work because, you know.
Oh, I'm not saying that people shouldn't go and find their.
Yeah, so if
You
that's
know,
their motivation that,
I'm- I
keeps
just-
them hopeful.
I just feel like there's a lot of people that are going around wondering when they're going to meet their soulmate.
Yeah.
Because that's another thing, huh?
It disqualifies people.
This is how I'm going to send it home for you guys.
Let's see.
Because you sell this idea of soulmates, like you're saying, it's just a click, it works, or we know each other, or we like the same things, we do that. And so people are walking around looking for that.
Yeah.
And honey, that's not
Yeah.
how it works.
So
That's
I
why I
think that's
disagree
what
or
I'm trying
agree
to
with your
say, that there's an instant connection. As she said, you feel like you've met before, but from there going, it's not automatic. It doesn't flow freely. There still
That's
is
what I'm
work.
saying, that you can
but it's
actually
just
be
easier.
with somebody and it will work. But when you guys met, it was not an instant connection.
Yeah.
That's the problem. So now everybody's walking around looking for an instant connection. Like you guys are magnets, you meet each other like, and if it's not
So-
working like that, you
You
keep
throw it away.
bypassing people
Yeah.
who have potential. But because when you met, there was no
it
twin
wasn't
flame.
clicking. So if
Yeah.
you meet someone and it's not clicking, you move together and it clicks eventually. Are they your soulmates now?
No,
So then I guess that brings in the question of can your souls fuse over time and can you develop into
Because
soulmate?
I think your soulmate is from the meeting point, but you can build your soulmates.
see,
Listen, I'm building
You
your
get where I'm
soul the
coming
way I
from.
wanted
not
to
build your
show up.
soulmate. No.
That's so-
I feel like the whole thinking of soulmates is problematic.
I get where you're
You know,
coming
people,
from.
people have romanticized the idea of a soulmate
Yeah.
without putting in the work
Yeah.
that it takes.
So I think
That
what
I
you're
believe.
saying speaks for love in general.
Yeah,
so
love.
if it's love in general, I agree 100%. It's a pure marketing scheme. Love
Yeah.
Island and all those things are
Yeah.
pure marketing schemes. They tell you, they influence you on what to do to show you're in love and to think you're in love, but then it's not factual.
Demonstrations
Also,
of
nobody-
love.
But it doesn't come down to soulmates. No, there are two different concepts. That's what I think.
Sidebar, nobody who goes on Love Island is looking for love.
No, but they're looking for deals.
Yeah.
They're looking for
But the people
promotion,
that watch it
modeling.
want their best couple to win. They want them to be most in love. They like to see those
Yes,
things.
they're
People are
buying
invested,
into the whole
yeah.
idea.
So that's just the marketing bit of it. It's not for the people in the house. It's for the people watching.
Well, soulmates, it's not a thing, y'all.
No, I'm gonna give him the point.
Because
Okay.
I'm gonna give him the point. I was fine.
because you have this idea. So even when somebody comes and they're not in that package that you're expecting, but you
Yeah.
don't know what they can offer, you
Yeah.
already dismiss the person.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that's happening now. That's that's why a lot of people are single.
Yeah, this loneliness epidemic could be winding down if we paid attention to things beyond this.
Yeah, give people
spark.
a chance and stop. Oh, I want to twin flame.
Okay, so I'm so curious that you believe in a slow burn, like you believe in giving people chances, opportunities to grow with you, and all of this.
I think that you cannot make like if you don't give people a chance or you don't get to know somebody,
Yeah.
it's not enough to be like, oh, because let me tell you, some people have bad days. You
Yes.
can
Yes,
you can meet
yes.
somebody
On
and
my
on
worst
that day they are saying all
Yeah.
the wrong things
Yeah.
and whatever. I'm not saying that like
That's so true.
just some, I don't know. You get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, don't
You
diminish
have a bad
people
day.
to
There
their
are
first
days when
impression.
You are not on your best,
Yeah,
whatever.
it's true.
And then somebody who just, can you imagine, like, let's say you haven't had a haircut.
Yeah.
You went to do something in the market, your car broke down.
I told him I want to get haircuts before coming, but go on.
Yeah, you have to do, and then like you enter some shop to just buy water, right?
Mhm.
And you're smelling because your armpits, you don't have deodorant in the morning, you look unkempt.
Yeah.
You have been walking, so your
You're
slippers are dirty.
mad dusty.
And then you walk into a convenience store, you meet somebody, right?
Back
and
smart.
it's very nice. And then you're like, oh, you just want to talk to the person.
Oh,
And the person's like, that is smelling boy.
listen, I don't
They
have
don't even
change
know
today.
who you
I don't
really
have
are.
change.
And then based on that, they said that's not my twin flame. But if maybe they had spoken to you, they'll find that you both like Frank Ocean.
Come on.
You both grew up in, I believe, like,
We both
That's what
love
I'm trying to say.
insecure. Yeah.
Well, I think people can have like multiple twin flames. Forget the pairing bit, but because you're
How
coming,
can you be multiple
so you're
twins?
coming from the point where it's like one person for you. So you met them and then maybe you didn't give them a chance and A, B, and C.
Yeah.
But you can meet someone else and feel the connection
believe in open
and still
relationships?
have a chance. No, I do not.
oh, really?
No, I do
But
not.
what you're
Monogamy.
saying, what you're saying,
No, it's not.
if you believe
it's
in
not the
multiple
same.
twin flames,
but
then
not at
you,
the same time, or
So I think we said that it could be friendship, it could be
Yeah.
romantic, it could be
not a
anything.
twin flame though. I'm talking about kindred spirits. I don't know
Okay,
about
then,
the twin flame.
then that's a different thing. I
right.
think.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you agree, yes.
Unfortunately, yes.
I mean, I agree.
All right,
you know,
2.5.
like we tried.
Yeah,
We
who's
really
next?
tried. You are.
Yes.
Go for it.
Next, let me see what I have here.
2.5.
I think this is very straightforward too. So avoid saying it could never be me because life will test you.
Oh, yeah.
I mean.
Oh, no, it's a cheat.
I mean, okay, you said you had many. Read another one because that one is obviously yes.
I think we asked for 3.
Can you imagine? This is very, I feel like after you found out that it was competitive, you
You
have
were like,
all the
No,
controversial
like
Things
as
nobody
we're
can
speaking,
fight.
things were coming to me.
Rah. This
Man.
one is like, there's nothing to even say.
sure,
But I mean, it's
Yeah,
one
it's
point
facts.
for you.
it's true. Okay, Henrika.
I'm searching my brain to say something back.
It's like
It could always be you, but you know how people pray? Also, you pray because
manifest. So
you're
it's
hoping you're directing your energy towards whatever it is you believe in that is supposed to keep some certain things from
so
happening
It could never be
to
me.
you.
It could never be me. It could
Okay,
never
I don't
be
know if
me.
that's how you pray. Maybe that one, I don't know.
No,
But
I mean, I'm trying to say that, like, you're trying to say if you kind of like manifest or you like put positive energy towards it, then it won't happen.
yeah, no, I was
So
trying,
I-
but you know what?
So I feel
You're
like
right.
life will not be fair if you're not tried in the same circumstance you're trying to judge someone in. Or else it won't be fair. So when you say it could never be me in this situation, trust me, eventually
Why must
it
I
will
be tried in the
Okay,
same
it might
circumstance that I'm judging somebody in for life to be okay?
It might not always. I don't think it works like that.
It's-
Like
So maybe it
transactional.
doesn't happen like 100% of the time, but most of the time, like from our lives, some
see.
things that we saw that we said it couldn't be us, some way, somehow you be put in the same situation
Has it
and then
happened
you
to you?
experience it so many times.
Okay, like when?
So many personal stories and stuff, but I think,
No,
I
but
think
we agree.
yeah.
But I
Yeah.
just think sometimes when people say it could never be me, it's not because like you are necessarily judging about what happens is so ridiculous that you're like for example,
This.
let's say the guy that was the manager of the bank or whatever, right?
Mm.
That had the whole issue with the national service person.
Yeah.
I remember like a lot of people were saying, if it was me, I wouldn't have done this. Or if it was me, because
Yeah.
it was so ridiculous for them
Yeah.
to hear. But it's not necessarily like judging
Never.
from a
but Joseph, if you put them in the same scenario, it might be them.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So honestly,
And
you
I
have your
feel-
And
full
I
point.
feel like-
is
okay.
ridiculous.
You have your
we
full
believe you.
point.
We believe you. We're
Yeah,
just
Enrica,
trying to go around it.
let's do yours because we actually ran out of time.
Okay. Then let me make it a quick one. Okay. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems.
Oh God, this is so traumatic.
Your face. Tell the story. What happened?
No, because this is what we're living in right now.
This is exactly
You
what's
think that people want to be working jobs where they
Nope.
cannot make
Nope.
ends meet?
Nope.
Like right now,
But-
people be having conversations saying that, oh, at least you are it's fine. At least
We like
no,
at least.
that's not what you want.
No. You don't want
rise
an
to-
at
you
least
fall
life.
to the level of your system.
Your systems. And if your systems are great, then that means you're like
Wait,
failing
but
forward.
what are your
Are you
systems?
talking about what systems?
Systems, okay, if you look at it from, let's say, like a habit tracking type of thing.
Okay.
If you have very lofty goals, I'm trying to save
Okay.
this much by the end of the year, etc., etc. What system do you have in place to get that to
Okay.
happen? Or even I'm on a diet, right? I'm trying to eat a particular set of, I'm trying to get certain nutrients, etc.
Mhm.
What system do you have in place to get that together?
Mhm.
So you'll always fall to the system you have. If you never cook, you never meal prep, but there's a wache place and a fast food restaurant next door, and you always go and get stuff from there, that's your system. So you'll always fail to the level of that system.
Okay.
And I think it applies probably across the board in your relationships, in the country, in all of the things. We could have goals.
Basically, if you don't put in the work, you will not see the
Yeah.
results.
Essentially,
Yeah, basically.
you're the
Right.
sum of the things you actually do. So if your system is flawed, you get flawed results.
That's a good
Wow.
one.
So 2.5.
2.5. Yeah. Okay, we tied. So how did he end up winning?
No,
this
because
thing?
Kofi cheated.
He really, yours were
How?
simple.
That last one.
Like they were very straightforward.
They were good.
Okay. We're not going to debate it, but what are the other ones?
What else did you have?
Because I know he
Let me see.
see. The controversial ones.
Give us
Let me
controversy.
see. I have feelings are not facts.
Oh, okay. That was going to be one of mine, so it's fair.
Feelings are how you feel about an issue does not defy the facts of the issue. It happens, and even coming down to relationships, right? Men and women feel different things depending on different times of the month and hormones and whatever. How you're feeling in that moment may not be what it is. So usually it's best to identify the facts because they are never the same.
But I would add that it doesn't mean you ignore the feeling.
No.
Yeah.
So you don't ignore them, but then it's not always, let me say, it's not always
it's not
facts.
always fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
I
else
believe
do you
in
have?
that.
Why are you going through mine alone?
We want to,
Yeah, because
want to
I
pick
just-
out.
Let me see.
Just read them out. You don't have to explain them.
Yeah.
No, I think I've said some already, so I want to skip through. Could never be me.
I had a few
Transactional.
more, you know?
I think I had one that was similar. Basically, everyone is using you, or you're using them.
That's the transactional.
So it's the same thing.
Well, I only wrote 3. People have so many I can see.
Listen,
That's crazy.
many about most things, right? About
I'm seeing like 22.
Le-
Mad.
You wrote 3.
please be very proud of me that I
Madness.
really was able to cut. I take these things seriously. I have a long list.
I mean,
I can give you another one.
You
if
are
you want.
Okay. You say the last one, and then we'll wrap up.
Okay, before we wrap up, let's see. Art makes the world go round. Art is medicine. Hello.
That's debatable.
You don't think so?
What kind
Yeah,
of
I think
art?
it's okay.
The definition of art is all encompassing. So music, film, architecture,
Actually,
writing.
music does make.
Thank you.
I
Yep.
agree.
So it's not
I
money.
think I need to get my 0.5.
Is that-
Somebody designed the
Money-
money, right? And money makes the world go round. That's art. It's not just a sheet of paper.
But then
It's
the point
artistic.
of money is the value of it. It's not the design on the money.
Well, music also makes you feel great. It takes you through a lot of things.
Thank
I feel you.
It
Okay.
carries you through
Okay.
life.
See, we probably need a part 2.
We have to.
Anyway, guys, that's our episode. Any famous last words? Do you want the people to find you? If so, then you have to share your social media. Kofi doesn't share anything on social media.
I mean, I have Snapchat. So.
Is your audience kind?
You want to share your Snapchat on this show?
Are you sure?
It's a lie.
Wow.
You know that when
I don't
like
even know my handle.
you meet
know.
someone and they're like, "Oh, what's your Snapchat?"
Yeah.
Everybody automatically assumes that they want to have sex with you.
It's
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
No.
Because Snapchat is like for nudes and stuff.
very transactional.
No, my friends are not like that.
Super transactional.
Which friends? Only Gen Z people use Snapchat to communicate like it's WhatsApp.
Like proper.
Yeah.
People like to do streaks just for the sake of it. Just sending a
Can you
foot
imagine?
every
That's like
day.
homework. Homework. Grown up homework.
It's like Duolingo. which
Oh, so you
just
really want? Do you want to share your
chases you every
Snapchat?
day.
No. I was just messing.
You want peace of mind?
I just want peace.
No problem. Do you want to share anything?
Just my name. I guess if you're kind and you want to leave nice comments and support what we're doing, then yeah, my name is where you can find me on all platforms.
Henrika. Yes.
Henrika
So-
Amwafo.
Okay, guys. Well, anyway, thank you for listening to the episode. These are our life lessons. I know you.
I think I have some last words, by
You have
the
some
way,
last words?
because you didn't ask me.
Oh,
actually.
sorry. No.
Just about the
But
Snapchat.
yeah, so coming back to tennis, we'll be doing a thing for mainly women,
Circling back.
for
No, I'm
about
actually interested. Go ahead.
yeah. So
Who is
we're trying to
we?
have like a basic a team, myself and my team.
Are you a trainer? Are you qualified?
I'm not a trainer, but then we want to make it more affordable to people. So we're trying to bridge the gap between lower level earners to do sports and get them out of the office, because it's quite expensive if you're paying on your own. So we're putting people through to trainers that are affordable, and want to have like tennis clinics. Right now we have like 60 women who signed up. We put a list out, and there were only like 3
What
men.
is an affordable trainer charging?
Yeah.
60 cities. Okay, so
Per
there's 60.
lesson,
per
per-
what?
Hold on. So with the 60, he's charging 30 for himself and 30 for the use of the court.
Is it
Okay, which court?
Per session.
per session? 60
Yeah.
cities per session. Okay.
That's
Do you identify as a low-income earner?
if you compare prices, I think so. Yes, if you compare prices in general,
He's lying.
is much
I work with
lower.
him, he's lying. Okay, so where is
Yeah,
the
which
tennis?
courts?
So we're looking at Labadi Hotel, but then we'll put things
Oh.
together.
Can the coach
Yeah, we
meet
have the
you?
relationship. So
Oh,
Okay.
the coaches
Anyway.
don't move around.
I know like a bunch of coaches. So then we'll put them together.
Okay.
Hey,
'Cause that
why
could
you
be a
have,
way
you
to
have a
bring-
courts?
I mean, listen, some of us live around like Spintex, etc. Coming to Labadi, the 60
Okay.
cities for the lesson is hello.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if your coaches can travel,
then
that
you
would
only
be
have to pay
great.
them 30 Ghana cedis.
No.
But then
we
that's-
can still keep the 60, but it's a court closer to me.
But you ask for the affordable prices, not necessarily for what we're going to be charging. But then that'll come out later.
Oh, you're going to charge more than 60.
that'll come out later anyway.
Anyway, guys.
Cool.
So that's it. That's our episode. I hope you pick something. I know some of you gave me a 3. You know, haters 2.5. But anyway,
I got a 3 as well.
hey,
Thanks,
what
guys.
are your life lessons that you? I know. What are your life lessons that you live by? That you swear by? Leave them in the comments on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. You know, TikTok people, you like to fight, so it's fine.
Like the tussle.
And Twitter. Thank you so much for listening. My name is Joseph Inti. We'll be back to do the shout outs.